Hi, I'm Maya, author of Fit and Fabulous and the creator of the 3x Fit 90-Day Transformation from MayaMFitness.com. And in this video, you'll learn 40 of the most recommended hobbies to take up in your 40s. As an NPC athlete and health and fitness professional, I've helped hundreds of women lose weight and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so let's talk about it. How can you make the most out of your best decade by pursuing the following rewarding pastimes? I know what you're thinking. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But if you're over 40, I've got news for you. You're not an old dog. Although you may feel established in your career, your life, and even your favorite pastimes, the truth is that there's never been a better time to pick up a new hobby than early middle-aged. You'll probably discover a new passion, see the world from a different perspective, and shake up your life for the better. Sound good? Good, because you're about to hear 40 of the top hobbies for the over 40 crew. They may not all be exciting, but just hang around to the end. All you have to do is pick up one. Let's get started. Become an astronomy buff. Want to impress basically anyone with some celestial knowledge? Who doesn't want to hear about the entertaining things about their horoscope? Learn to read the night sky by studying up on a few of the major constellations. Spend a few evenings scoping out the stars from your roof or the porch. If you're feeling ambitious, grab a telescope and head out for a nice drive to some wide space and get a closer look at the stars and planets. And maybe invite some friends over for a stargazing party. Start bird watching. Talk about something that used to be a niche, but is rapidly becoming mainstream. When you get into it, bird watching can actually be a super relaxing, meditative way to spend an hour. Learn a few of the local species of winged creatures in your area and find a good spot to view them, whether it's a park, a hiking trail, or just killing a few minutes looking out the window. Not only will you find it peaceful, but you'll also look pretty sharp when you can tell the difference between a chirping sparrow and a white-throated sparrow. Forage. Don't try this one on your own. If you can find a local guide or a group who can show you what's edible, tasty, and not poisonous in your area, you'll suddenly see the outdoors in a completely new way, whether or not you pick any psychedelic mushrooms. You'll feel great heading out of the woods and being able to identify the plants and berries that make for a terrific side dish at a dinner party. And it's one of the top hobbies for spending an afternoon outdoors. Become a master griller. During the warmer months, don't just barbecue. Become a true grill master. Learn how to grill the perfect steak or ultimate burger, but also try some more creative cuisines like coffee and brown sugar crusted skirt steak or miso glazed chicken burgers. Maybe even get a smoker. Whatever you do, take ownership of your backyard and elevate your grilling skills. It's one of the best hobbies that everyone around you would love to. Leatherwork. Instead of just taking those worn out shoes to the repair shop, learn how to do some basic leatherwork yourself. Start by learning how to properly treat or restore the material with cleaner and conditioner. If you enjoy that, consider teaching yourself how to stitch, strap, and add rivets. You can add cool details to a belt you had lying around and make a leather bookmark for a reader friend. You'll look thoughtful and handy. Become a Photoshop master. Whether you're trying to remove a thumbprint from a pic, enhance your vacation photos, or create goofy memes to share on Facebook. Getting skilled with Photoshop opens up lots of useful, dumb, but fun ways to spend your time. A quick course or even an online tutorial can get you up to speed on this surprisingly versatile program. Learn to canoe. I know that might sound weird. Most people don't have canoes just sitting in their backyard or even access to somewhere that's selling them. But if you love the water, get out there and rent a canoe or borrow a friend's and start paddling. Take an intro course to learn some of the basic strokes and make sure the weather conditions are good. Once you hit the water, you'll find that canoeing is a very peaceful way to spend late mornings and afternoons. Just don't tip over. Start supping. If you live near a lake or a beach, stand-up paddle boating is a great exercise for you. There aren't many hobbies where you can enjoy the natural surroundings, work your balance and posture, and give you an amazing ab workout at the same time. Restore a classic car. This is a great hobby for men in their 40s, and some women too. If you've got an old heap passed down in your family or from a friend, or are willing to shell out a little money to get an automobile in need of some love, you can find tons of resources online and through local restoration clubs to help you bring back an old car to its former glory. This hobby usually requires a bit of an investment up front as you purchase the car, the necessary auto tools, and acquire some pricier parts. If this is your first time, you might want to find one that's already been restored partially. But the investment will be worth it in the long run as you tour through the town in your stylish ride. Take up archery. This one is actually pretty fun. I've been to a few archery classes, and practicing my aiming was kind of cool. You can find really good deals for these classes on Groupon. Tap into your inner Robin Hood by picking up a bow and aiming for the bullseye. Most mid-sized cities have some kind of archery range or club where you can rent a bow and arrow and practice for a month or a one-time fee. It's a simple sport to learn, and even if you aren't cracking one arrow with the next, getting out on a range on a sunny day to work your aim is not a bad way to spend an afternoon. Pick a side hustle. These days there's so many things you can do online to make a few extra bucks. It might be worth your time. Check out the link in the resources box below for online income from home. Bowl. Head to the local bowling alley to work on your strikes and spares. Just get a few friends together once a month to go head to head. Or if you have no bowling curious friends, join a local league to make a few while taking your roll to the next level. Learn to pick a lock as a hobby. No, not to be a burglar. But if you've ever been locked out of your house, you know this can also be an essential life skill. It can also just be fun. The real world puzzle that takes laser focus to solve. For a few dollars, you can get a lock picker on Amazon to get a handle on the basics before working your way up to something more sophisticated. Take up chess. This is a game that takes the greats decades to master, but you can get a handle on the basics over an afternoon. Bonus, now's a great time to learn, given this whole internet thing. Hone your survival skills. You don't need to attempt an Into the Wild. Just learn some of the basics of wilderness survival. From sourcing food and water to signaling for help. Think of your favorite camping spot and figure out what you would have to do to survive there for 3 days with limited equipment. Then try a test run with a friend or two and some way to get a hold of the outside world if things go sideways. Get into the wild and put your skills to the test. Always be sure others know where you are in case something goes wrong. Write a book. Many of the greatest authors had a day job and wrote in their free time. If you've got a decent idea for a book, there's no reason not to write it. Whether it's a spy novel you've always wanted to write, or a how-to on a topic that you know inside and out, or an erotic fan fiction about your favorite 80s sitcom, no judgment. Put together a few thousand words and get it up on Amazon. In your spare time, check out my fitness guide and journal, Fit and Fabulous, 3-step system to fit, fun, and fierce vitality over 40. Click on the link below in the description box. Become a whiskey aficionado. Learn the distinctions between the world's whiskeys, or focus in on one region or type of whiskey in particular. Figure out what makes a Macallan 18 so much better than a Macallan 12. The different tasting notes of rye versus bourbon, and why it's usually a bad idea to let ice anywhere near a good scotch. Become an art buff. Become an amateur art expert or impress your friends by telling the difference between pointillism and divisionism. But don't be a jerk about it. Get into the habit of visiting the local museums in your city. Most offer free events and discount days. Pick up a homebrew hobby. With a make-your-own beer kit and a little time, you can turn unused corner of your garage into a little microbrewery. Whether you like ale, lager, or stout, there's a brew out there for your taste. And at less than $50 a kit, you can afford to do some trial and error until you create the perfect brew. When the beer is ready, it makes a great excuse to throw a party or celebrate by drinking yourself into a stupor. If you're finding value in this video, make sure to watch my next video and make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification so you don't miss any future content. Pickle something. For a healthier snack, you can make a hobby out of pickling. Pickling vegetables. Just get a few mason jars and the right vinegars and spices, and it's off to the races. Learn to play the guitar. You probably aren't going to be the next Jack White if you've never really played before, but you can at least learn a few of the songs decently enough. You can hire a guitar teacher or teach yourself with YouTube videos and online tips. Though if you're new to the hobby, you might want to be sure you've got a soundproof room in which to practice. Your family will thank you for it. Swim. You're still in the prime of your health, but you still probably want to go a little easy on your joints once you get past 40, which swimming is a brilliant alternative to running. Not only does it give you a chance to get in a good workout and get your heart rate racing, it ensures little impact on those knees and hips, something the 80-year-old you appreciate but still having impact. Learn origami. This art takes skill and a careful hand. You can get a handle on it with a few online videos or picking up one of the hundreds of how-to books out there on the subject for both total novice and origami ninjas. Best of all, it gives you a fun and kind of weird gift to hand off to friends. Learn a new language. Who hasn't wanted to learn a new language but hasn't had the time or the patience? Now's the time to do it. Just because you haven't known the Spanish word for pants since high school doesn't mean you can't reactivate that part of your brain, and without needing to dust off the textbooks with those weird illustrations. With daily learning apps like Duolingo, it's more convenient than ever to pick up a few new foreign words and concepts every day. Better yet, plan a trip to a French or Spanish-speaking country and aim to get your language skills strong enough to get around and carry a basic conversation. Master magic tricks. No need to get a rabbit, a hat, or a ridiculous magician costume. Learning a few card tricks or simple sleight of the hand can be a great way to add some energy to a party, but don't be weird about it. Master a couple basic illusions that you can break out anytime, work your way up from there. Get into yoga. You don't have to join a high-end yoga studio or buy fancy equipment to make yourself into an amateur yogi. With a decent mat or a comfortable floor and a few YouTube videos, you'll be able to get a handle on the basics. And when people ask you what you've been up to, you can say, downward facing dog. Volunteer. Stop being so selfish. Numerous studies show that being generous with your time and giving to another person is a surefire way to improve your own happiness. So why not lift your spirits by putting in a few hours a month doing something for a cause better than yourself? Whether it's helping the homeless, assisting at an animal shelter, or working for a food drive, getting into the habit of helping others is a good hobby to have. Learn to cook, or cook better. You're probably pretty capable in the kitchen, but this is an area where you can always raise your game and find ways to get friends and family involved. Pick up a cookbook from a Michelin star chef and try to make one of its more complicated recipes, host a dinner party, and wow a few friends with your skills. Or start a potluck cook-off competition with a few co-workers. Who knows, you might feel like Gordon Ramsay, but hopefully with none of the swearing. Snorkel. Strap on a mask and hop in the water to scope out some stunning coral or fish and other sea creatures. If you find you really enjoy it, take your hobby a step further and become a certified scuba diver. You can get into a Zen mode by floating in the water with a few sounds and your own breathing, just as long as you don't run into any man-eating sharks. Take up calligraphy. It takes the pros years to master this style of writing, but you'd be surprised how fast you can pick up the basics. Whether using an instruction guide or following a YouTube tutorial, you can get some of the simple lettering down, enough to start addressing envelopes with a little extra artistry. Become a cinephile. Cinephile? Cinephile. You may enjoy the occasional art film or documentary, but why not make it a full-on hobby? Choose a particular era or region and seek out as many films in that genre as you can. Watching a movie a week will turn into a aphrodisiac in no time. Garden. Who needs Whole Foods when you've got a yard or just a sizable window box? There are a few hobbies that give you a chance to enjoy a nice sunny day while feeling like you're accomplishing something. Plant a few vegetables, and come harvest time, you can have a celebratory dinner party to enjoy them. Try building an herb garden. If space or your attention span is limited, try this as an alternative. Herb gardening is likely to give you the same satisfaction of producing something tangible and delicious with less effort than a vegetable garden. Whether you like some basil or oregano for your pasta, cilantro for your tacos, or chives on your cereal, creating and maintaining a simple herb garden makes for an easy, edible hobby. Landscaping. If gardening gives you a taste of something more ambitious, try your hand at landscaping. Designing a section of your backyard or front yard, taking into account the local animal and plant species and placement of the earth and water features, creating a self-sufficient ecosystem. There are plenty of online tutorials, but even better is to head over to your local hardware or gardening store and get some in-person advice on your specific project. Run a marathon. Even if you are just a casual runner, preparing and training for a marathon or half marathon, if you're not quite tough enough yet, makes a fun hobby and feels far more satisfying than the local run or trying to hit the gym when you can. You can find an event in your city or area, or find one on the other side of the country, or make a vacation out of it. It gives you a goal to strive for, tracking your progress and maybe looping in friends to join you in the prep. Do a Tough Mudder. If a marathon is too low-key, you can get a bit more extreme by signing up for a Tough Mudder or a simple high-impact endurance challenge. If you're into getting a bit dirty, taking over obstacles, and getting some great pics in the process, you might consider signing up for one of those. Hike. Wherever you live, there's hopefully some decent outdoor space to enjoy. Pick up some decent boots and a book on your local trails, and you're fully equipped for a new hobby. Hiking is a great way to get in some exercise while enjoying the nature that's in your backyard. Or take some time out of your day to get in touch with a wider world. It's also an excellent way to take in the latest episodes of your favorite podcast and audiobook. Geocache. If hiking around the outdoors is not exciting enough for you, add the treasure hunt element by getting into a geocache. Participants use their smartphones or GPS devices to uncover trinkets and knickknacks. It requires a bit of orienteering, a keen eye, and is likely to lead you into areas you might otherwise have never set foot. Start a podcast. Is there something you're passionate about and happily talk your friend's ear off about? Are you a great conversationalist who likes to talk to people about particular topics or hobbies? You can share it with the world by starting a podcast. It requires little, if any, overhead and is a good way to connect with people in your industry or learn more about an area you're already interested in. Golf. There's a reason why this remains such a classic way to pass time. Few sports offer such a combination of leisurely peace, beautiful surroundings, and potential for valuable social interactions. Whether working on your swing at a driving range or joining the local country club, golf remains a very enjoyable way to spend a few hours. And for more ways to make the most out of the best decade, don't miss the 40 best ways to conquer your 40s. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the bell notification for weekly content. Drop me a comment below and let me know what you'd like to hear about next. Until next time.